I had the privilege this fall of performing in a play called John by Annie Baker. Annie Baker is a rising young playwright. She's already won the Pulitzer for one of her earlier plays, The Flick. She was awarded one of those MacArthur Foundation grants this fall. She's really quite an extraordinary writer. I've seen a number of her plays. And it was very special to me, and I wanted to share a little tiny piece of it with my extended family here. The play is 3 acts with 2 intermissions, took about 3 hours to perform, 4 characters. Also, if I gave you a brief summary of the plot, that would only tell you a tiny bit of what was really going on. It was a kind of a interesting, mystical journey that you took when you experienced the play. The setting is a bed and breakfast in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in an old house that existed during the time of the Civil War, so it may or may not be haunted. It is full of tchotchkes. I mean, laden, prints all over the wall, dead birds hanging, bird pictures everywhere, dolls everywhere, lots of little figurines, angels, and since the play takes place just before Christmas, there's also Christmas decorations, lights, and things like that. It is run by an eccentric older woman, innkeeper, or his Catherine, that would be me, who you think in the beginning is just a sweet, eccentric old lady, but as the play progresses, you find out she may be more than you thought originally. She refers to herself as a Neoplatonist. This, in fact, is my costume. The theater doesn't have a lot of storage, and I was generously allowed to take some of my costume pieces home. Into her bed and breakfast come a young couple whose relationship is completely disintegrating. So the first piece that I'm going to do is towards the end of the play. And the young man who's just had a horrible fight with his girlfriend, probably broken up with her forever, asks me how I met my husband, who is very ill and who you never see during the whole course of the play. Is he real? Is he not real? Oh, that's a long, boring story. The short version is that we wrote each other letters for 2 years. And then, the day we met, we got our marriage license. I remember him walking towards me in the Baltimore airport. I had never met him before, and I'd never even seen his picture. Did he look like what I expected? He looked the same, and he looked different. I imagined it was what it would be like if you cut me open and showed me my heart or liver for the first time. I don't know if he's going to get better, Elias. I honestly don't know. I will say that meeting him was like walking out of a dark wood. He's not perfect, and I'm not perfect, and we have our hard times, but I remember moving towards him through Terminal 4, and it was like emerging from the cold and into the sun, like waking up from the bad dream that was my life before him, and all the confusion and fear and self-hatred that I'd always felt in the presence of other people. I was shedding it like a skin. The spell had ended. And I remember thinking, everything is possible. If this is possible, everything is possible. The second piece that I'm going to do is from earlier in the play. And at this point, the young woman is lying on my couch. I'm making her a cup of tea. The kettle is boiling in the background, really boiling. And back behind us is a Christmas tree whose lights are off. And at the end of the piece, the lights will be on, and you'll know when. Oh, and Jenny, the young woman, has asked me to tell her a story. A made-up story? I don't know if I can make up a story. Let me see. Maybe I could tell. Do you know what I did last week? I memorized all the different things you can call a group of birds. For instance, a gaggle of geese, a congress of crows, a convocation of eagles, a team of ducks. I bet you already know that one. A tiding of magpies, a colony of gulls, a host of sparrows, a cast of falcons. Isn't that nice? A cast. A company of parrots, a concentration of kingfishers, a siege of herons, a wisdom of owls, a mustering of storks, a duel of doves, a sedge of cranes, a cover of coots. I love them. I love them. Let's see. A raft of loons, a pride of penguins, a troubling of hummingbirds, a bevy of quail, a charm of finches, an exultation of larks. Oh, yes, that's my favorite. An exultation of larks. Look at that. Thank you.